Hello. I come bearing gifts of cuteness. Oh goodness, babies. This is a kitten that my Maggie had. She made it all by herself. Well, not quite by herself, but we don't know where the father is, so. I have an assumption, because there's a cat that likes to wander around here. So yeah, we got 6 little kittens, and they're starting to play now. Oh, no. I kind of want to name this one Smeagol. Yes. It's my precious. Oh, babies. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is claws, manifesting. It's kind of a tricky topic, and I'm gonna tell you why. Or I'm gonna try to. So, once upon a time, when I was a little girl, I was, 8, 9 maybe. My dad came back from, I want to say Macedonia or Bosnian, I don't fucking know. And he brought me this like crystal horse head. It was blue and clear. And you know, me being a kid, I was like, ooh, this is a magic horse head. I'm going to make a wish on it. And for some odd reason, when I was 8 or 9 or 10 years old, no, I wasn't 10 because it was before the divorce, so definitely younger than 10. Was machst du mit mir, Katz? Es geht hier mal gar nicht. I was like wishing onto this horse head that one day I would have the most popular boyfriend in school, and he would be the cutest of all the guys, and all the girls would be jealous. Okay? Fast forward 5, 6 years. I'm 14 years old. I see this kid, this boy in school. And to me, he was the best looking kid in school. I didn't know him. I knew his name because one of my friends in my classroom was friends with him. But all I knew was that they called him Matt. One day, I was in the car with my mom. She was driving me to her friend's house. I was going to go babysit for her. And I was like daydreaming, I guess you would say. But this daydream was of me and this Matt guy. And he had a Helly Hansen jacket. It was blue. And if you flipped it inside out, it was yellow. And I had this daydream that we were sitting at the playground in the housing area for the military base where we lived at. Which you didn't need an ID to get on. It was just, you know, it was just housing. You had to drive through there to get to the mines that I had recorded for you guys. And that he put his jacket on me. The next morning, I'm watching Goosebumps. My makeup's down my face from the night before. My hair's all afro puffy because it was shorter, and I get an afro the shorter it is. There's a knock at the door, and I look through the peephole, and it's Matt. And I'm like, why is Matt at my door? We don't know each other. So I open the door, and I see that my friend from class, Christopher, that he's there. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And they were like, well, we were going to go play some basketball. Do you want to play basketball with us? And I was like, yeah, sure. Let me go wash my face because I look fucking stupid. Well, it was in that very moment when I opened the door wearing shorts, a t-shirt, and makeup running down my face that Matt said, I love this bitch. That same evening, we were at the playground. Matt gave me his jacket, put it around me. A couple weeks later, we were a couple. That was an on and off thing for 6 years. Okay. So it took a couple of years, but I ended up getting the cutest guy in school. And then whenever we graduated school and we went on to business school here in Germany, the system's a little bit different. I'm not going to go into all that. But we were in business school. That's when it became a problem. It was a much bigger school, had different grades, older people, you know. A lot of girls, first of all, had a problem with him having a girlfriend to begin with, okay? Because he was funny and he was sweet and he was super smart and he was just like the best kind of geek there is, you know? So all of the girls were jealous he had a girlfriend. And then a year later, when I start going to that same school because he was a year above me, they get pissed off because they see, oh, he's not dating a super skinny chick. He's dating a thick bitch. So one day in class, one of the girls was like, why would you date a girl that's so big? And I wasn't even that big back then. Like, this is before I had babies. Like, I was good. I was thick. I was good. So he stood up in front of a class of 30-something people. And he said, let me make something clear right now. Every single one of you girls is a hypocrite. Because how you going to say looks don't matter, but then you're going to judge my girlfriend because she got a bigger ass than you? So there's that, okay? I manifested this shit as a little girl, unaware that that was what I was doing. Now, I had a lot of stuff like this happen my whole life, okay? I would think something, it would happen. I would say something, it would happen. So I learned very early in life to be very careful of what I say. I looked someone dead in the eye once, an older man. He pissed me off. I looked him dead in the eye, and I said, then why don't you just die already? 3 weeks or something, he was dead. And, I mean, obviously it wasn't my fault, but to an extent, I was like, I don't need to watch what I say. And I was with Matt, so I was like 15 or something. I think it was before Matt's dad passed away. So it was just like things like that. Last year, I had to get new glasses. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to manage to pay 400 euros for the glasses that I needed, because I wanted the glasses that transition, you know, in the sunlight, because I have blue eyes and I'm an original born ginger baby. So the sunlight burns my eyeballs. And I was trying to figure it out. You know, I'm a single mom of 3 children. It's a struggle sometimes. So I was like, all right, well, how am I going to do this? A couple of days later, on my Facebook, hold on, let me put Kitty away. We'll switch kittens. Okay, Smeagol, get in there. Let me get you. Oh, look, it's another black cat. They're all black. All black. Anyways, so then, like, on my Facebook, this ad appears saying, Brillen.de, you know, glasses DE, Deutschland. You can get 3 pairs of glasses, for the price of 300 euros. And you can make payments if you need to make payments. So I was like, this has to be a scam. I get the information. I set up an appointment to see, because they had like a list of specific places that you can go to. And I set it up. I had to drive, I don't know, 45-minute drive to go to that place. It's not too far from here. Sure as shit. I got 2 pairs of regular glasses and a pair of sunglasses instead of the transitionals for 300 euros. Cool beans. About that same time of year, I had an overdraft in my bank account, and I realized that I fucked up, and I wasn't going to be able to pay it all back without doing it in installments. And I thought to myself, I'm going to have to call the bank, and I'm going to have to ask them if I can turn this overdraft into a loan and pay it off in payments. I didn't call them. The next day, I had an email saying, hey, we can offer you a loan to pay off your debt, your overdraft. So I was like, sweet. I didn't even have to do anything. I just thought about it, and then it came to me. What you doing there, Bubba? Now, you see that happened pretty fast. Some of these things happen over a couple of years. Some of these things quickly. Now, last year summertime was when I really started to figure out what a dark night of the soul is. What it means to be spiritually awake. What it means to, you know, what it means when people say raise the vibration and that we are frequencies, and the Schumann resonance I actually found out about this year and how that's all connected. So like, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew that I had started to listen to my inner voice, my higher self, my gut, my intuition, whatever you want to call it. And the more I did that, the better things got. The easier life got. So now, the other day, for instance, I was driving, and you know how people say, you know, you got to meditate to go within to kind of hear things. Meditation does not require you to be sitting still. It does not require you to be laying on a bed or sitting on your pillow in your Zen den. All it requires is you to be in autopilot mode. Okay? You could be playing a video game, you could be driving, cleaning, taking a shower, whatever. If you're on autopilot and you're not thinking, that's when things will come. When I'm driving is when I get a lot of messages. My voice in my head, because I sound cray-cray, alright? Pahalia, that's his name. He said, start looking up what Trump says and find the code. I didn't know what the hell that meant. Why? I don't keep track of politics. If it's on my Facebook and I agree or I disagree, I'll post it. But I don't really keep track. Okay? When I heard Trump was running, I was going through some shit. I didn't pay attention to any of it. All I knew was when I heard Trump is running, I knew he will win. And when he won, I was like, I knew he would win. That's all I cared about. I didn't even care about that. Like, I was just like, oh, cool, I'm right. Pfft, whatever. So I had that thing in my head saying, track down what he really says, find quotes, videos, whatever, and then decode what he's saying. So I get home, and a woman adds me on Facebook, and she says, hey, I hope you don't mind me adding you, da-da-da, super sweet lady. And she goes, I have a friend who might have some things on his page that interest you. And mind you, I hadn't posted anything saying anything about decoding Trump at this point. So I add the guy, I check out his page, sure as shit, he's got Trump quotes on there. He's got Trump's tweets, is that what it's called? God, I'm old. He's got Trump's Twitter shit on there, tweet. And he's explaining what these things mean. He's talking about things that are going on in the background that people are not seeing. And this was the message that I got while I was driving, was to look up Trump's shit and decode it. And then, within hours, somebody I do not know adds me on Facebook, guides me to somebody who has that very information on his page. That's manifesting what you need, okay? Without even realizing it. You meow. Hold on, we're going to switch into the kitty. Who's next? Wait, you're next. I can't tell them apart quite yet. Another black cat. I promise you, it's not the same cat. So, another one was, I've been saying for a couple months now that science and spirituality go together. Because if you take the advancements we have in science and you take the aspect of spirituality, you can heal so much more than just with science or spirituality alone. They go together. They're meant to be put together. And then, I know. I was trying to explain to somebody the other day that when Jesus said, you have to go through me to get to God, he did not mean you have to go through me, the person, okay? Biggest question that I don't think any Christian has ever asked themselves. If God put a soul into a body and told that soul, you need to show the people how to get to me, and then this person says, you have to get through me, okay, to get to God, but you're not supposed to worship other people, right? You're supposed to only worship the one God, okay? So why is God going to send you a person that's going to tell you to worship them instead of God? Jesus didn't say worship me. We're not supposed to worship Jesus. We're supposed to love Jesus and appreciate Jesus because, well, he did that thing back then, what a lot of people are doing now, which a lot of other people are not really aware of because they're so stuck on the schematics of this book, yeah, that they're not seeing that Christ is within us is a state of mind. Okay, it's how he lived, it's how he functioned. And he wasn't always like that. He had to go through the dark night of the soul just like we did. He had to go within. He had to figure it out just like we did. He was a human just like us, okay? And he made a great sacrifice to prove a fucking point. So, meow. I was trying to get that through to someone. You know, not really get, I plant the seeds. I just say what it is and then they can complain and blah, 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 and throw a bunch of Bible verses at me all they want because I can translate every fucking verse, okay? And I don't read the Bible. I just get information, I Google it, and it turns out to be something from the Bible. So, after I tried to explain this, somebody who had hit me up the night before, and he was like, I'm going to send you a link. He sent it to me then, though. And this link, which I posted, was showing how the oil of Christ is within us biologically, and how the biological aspect of this Christ consciousness, the oil going up the vertebrae, the 33 vertebrae, and all of that, and how that works, and how the pineal gland brings you to the point where you see God and everything, okay? So it was a biological demonstration of what happens in the body, the physical body, but it was backed up with Bible verses, okay? So that was literally proving my point that one, science and spirituality go together, and two, Christ is literally within us. Meow. Hold on. There you go, pumpkin. So, once again, I was able to say something or try to explain it, and then the information that I needed to back it up came to me immediately through another person. What's that? Manifestation, right? Right. Now, here's the thing that people think with manifestation. We think, I'm going to manifest something because I want it. It's not how it works. It is how it works, but not quite. You are going to manifest things faster and without even realizing it. When you're manifesting things that are going to serve your purpose, that are going to serve God, that are going to serve whatever your soul is here to do. Okay? If it's something you need, you will get it because you need it. You need it to thrive in life, to be able to do what you got to do, right? We need to be physically and emotionally and mentally stable and happy and taken care of so that we can do what we came here to do. Our soul came here to do. So the more we do that, the more in alignment we are with where we're supposed to be going in life, the more these things will come to us. And if we are working through our soul, which is working for God, with God, it is that divine energy, okay? If we're letting that do what it came here to do, if you're the vessel and you're saying, go ahead and use me, use my body to do what you got to do, because you can't just pop up on earth in this, dense energy as a soul, as a light being, and do what you got to do. So when you say, okay, cool, go ahead, then your ego will fight. There are still struggles, there are moments, but it gets easier because eventually the ego's like, oh, this isn't too bad. Like, I'm still here. I still get to do the human stuff. Me and the soul are getting along. We balance each other out. So like, that's cool. But when you're doing that and you are in direct communication with your higher self, your ETs, your intuition, your aliens, your angels, whatever you want to call it, the communication is coming from God, universe, all, Krishna, Shiva, Allah, again, whatever you want to call it. I do not push any religion. I do not push any specific gods because I have had multiple gods appear to me in dreams, in visions, giving me messages that I needed to hear from that specific energy. Okay, Lilith came to me when I needed to step into my power. Sekhmet came to me to show me that I could heal. Okay, she got rid of my box of bullshit. We got rid of my box of bullshit. God spoke to me when he said that, the God, I was crying for hours that day, spoke to me and told me that, he just wants his children back. And when it hit me, I was mind blown, crying so bad. Like, I felt that in every fiber of my being. So this energy will come to you in multiple ways to give you a specific message. The symbolism, the signs, they all have a deeper meaning. So when you're manifesting things, we're not supposed to think, well, I need this because, if I think I need it, then obviously there's a lack. And if you're lacking and you say you're lacking, the universe is going to go, okay, you're lacking, because the universe is going to echo you. But when you are coming from a place of manifesting things to serve others, not just yourself, then you will get what you need. Okay, now through this comes, life experience, All right. I manifested that boyfriend back then. Why? I had a lot to learn from him. I was young. I had a lot to learn. My husband, my ex-husband, I dreamt about him before I met him. That was a loud slam. My kids are home. Of course they're home. Where else will they be right now, right? So yeah, like, when we're manifesting things, we're not trying to manifest the lottery numbers. Because you know what? You don't have to win the lottery. You do not have to win the lottery. Because when you are doing what you came here to do, what your soul came here to do, when you are on the right path, and it doesn't have to be some grand thing, okay? It's not like, oh, well, I have to, like, you know, talk to millions of people and do it. No. Because if you change one person's life, they're going to change someone else's life. It's going to do it. It's a domino effect, okay? So if you change one person, if you get one person to see their truth, to feel that truth, they will be able to go on and be able to serve others. So even if you're not doing this huge thing on a huge scale, it's going to have an effect on a huge scale. Okay, so don't be all like, oh, I have to do great things. That's your ego. We don't want that. We just want to be cool and just like, yeah, I'm going to change the world, but I can change the world one person at a time, you know. So you will probably be rewarded with some sort of recognition at some point, just because that's what God promised the people who do his job for him, you know, the like, not his job for him, but you know what I mean, like the people who work for God, for the universe, who do what they're supposed to do. They're going to get rewarded, right? They're going to go to heaven. Heaven is a state of mind that is a being on earth, okay? So if you're doing what you came here to do, what your soul came here to do, your life is going to be easier. You are going to feel happy. Stupid stuff happens, yes. But life happens around you and not to you. What happens to you is what you let happen to you. So if something bad around me happens, and as, you know, an energy being, I can feel the energy, you know, from what's going on. I can feel the energy coming off other people. I can feel their pain and everything. And sometimes it is overwhelming. I have days where I am so exhausted because I feel everything. And I'm just like trying to figure out what's me and what's them and what's what. And then I'm just like, I'm just going to take 4 fucking naps. I don't care. You know, so listen to your body. But it's like, because you have that whole I can manifest things as I need them, if they serve a higher purpose, they will come to you. So you don't have to win the lottery, because anything that you need, you'll be able to get. Now, if you're thinking, you know, oh, well, I'm going to need a lot of money because, you know, for instance, me, my whole thing was starting my blog, sharing my dark night of the soul. If you go all the way back into my blog and you start reading from the beginning and you scroll up and you read the newest blog today and you go all through all of them, I know it's a lot, but like if you were to do that, you are going to see exactly where my vibration changed, where my frequency changed, where I started to receive messages, when I learned who I was receiving them from. Like, you're going to watch this whole transition happening just by reading my blog from beginning to wherever I'm at this point. You're going to see the whole transition. Not only are you going to see my transition, but you're going to see exactly what's going to happen to you. It's not going to be the same story. It's not going to be, you know, the same enlightening moments. Okay, everybody's journey is different, everybody's life is different, but you're going to have those same shifts. You're going to have those same epiphanies that relate to your story, your experience, what you needed to learn, your karmic cycles. You're going to reach that point where you understand the difference between your ego talking and your soul talking. And you're also going to realize that just because we know this stuff doesn't mean we have to be perfect. We're still humans. I can't tell you how many times I yell at my kids. Why? Because they frustrate me. They do. You know, it's what we get mad. That's fine. You know, I yell at my kid. He yells back. And I'm like, don't you yell at me. And then he goes, why is my 12-year-old son hissing at me? What is that? You know, so we have our human moments, and that's good. That's fine, because we are human. The difference is on how we handle things, you know. We try to, I'm allergic to cats and they claw my hands, so now it's itching. We have to learn how to, you know, respond, not react, okay? Try to think things over without letting it get to you. Like, when somebody triggers me, there was a time where if somebody said something that triggered me, I would lash out, you know. Sometimes I'd lash out in a very subtle way. I've always been able to kind of see into people in a way that I would know exactly what to say to make them hurt the most. And I've abused that in the past. I'd abused it. I never realized that me being able to do that was not for me to be able to piss people off and hurt their feelings. It was for me to actually help them. So, if somebody said something that hurt my feelings, I would say something that I knew would hurt theirs. And I would always be on point. Like, I would hurt them in the worst ways. Because I was able to see into them. So, I don't know, I thought I heard something. So eventually, I learned that if I don't do that, if I just shut my fucking mouth, the art of shutting the fuck up, yeah? If I shut up and I say to myself, why did that piss me off? Why did that hurt my feelings? Why did that make me feel less worthy of anything? And I would give it some thought. And sometimes it would take a couple days. But at some point, I would always figure out that it had nothing to do with that person and everything to do with how I thought about myself, how I viewed myself, what I needed to change about myself. And once I figured out why it triggered me and what I had to change, I was able to figure out why they said or did what they said or did in the first place. I was able to figure out what made them hurt to make me want to hurt, or make them want to hurt me. You know what I'm saying, right? So I figured that out. And the more I started to do that, the less triggered I became. Now, one of the things that I will tell you that triggers me is, and I just figured this out yesterday actually, is that sometimes people will say or post something about religion or, spirituality, and they're just like so dead set on their ways. Like, anything you say is going to be completely wrong because they know, right? Here's the thing. First of all, I would not be where I'm at right now if I had not listened to every single person who had anything to say about any religion or any spiritual aspect or scientific aspect of anything that comes my way at this point, okay? If I had not listened, if I had not opened myself up to all the extra information that was coming in, I may not have never been able to piece together the things that I have been able to piece together. So don't ever, ever think that you know everything, because we don't. We humans don't know shit. We don't know shit, okay? When we're channeling through our higher self, through our soul, that's when the information's coming in. And whatever comes in from that point, you don't have to worry about being right or wrong. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. You know why? Because if I say something and somebody actually does the work, they're going to experience the same thing. If I channel a message that pertains to Jesus or God or anything like that, if you do the research, it will be backed up. And I don't do the research half the time. I just recently noticed that, everything I say is going to get backed up. Religion's going to back it up. Biology is going to back it up. Psychology is going to back it up. Spirituality is going to back it up. But you can't always take everything literal. You can't always see it word for word. You have to look past it. That 4D vision, that's what that is. Perception. Being able to perceive things from all sorts of different kind of angles. Being able to see a story within a story. Within a story. Standing in front of a bunch of mirrors and you see every single reflection of you, but you're still all you, but those are all different fragments of your soul, different lives, different experiences, different timelines. It's all one thing. The cycles of good and evil, of love and light and darkness and it's all a cycle. Everything comes back around. Every single movie has the same storyline. There's a person who has to go on a mission to do something big to save the people, blah, blah, blah. And what happens at some point in this movie, every single movie, okay, they have self-doubt, or they have something that holds them back, or they have like a physical problem, like in Finding Nemo, right? And then at some point in this movie, they always have like their lowest point, right? They have their lowest point. And they think nothing's going to work for me anymore. Oh no, what am I going to do? And then, like magic, somebody appears to them, or something appears to them, and it's serving in the movie, it's serving as their higher self, right? Dory, Nemo's dad, what's his name, Melvin? Dory comes in. She's quirky and funny and she don't remember shit, but somehow she always knows exactly what to say to push him forward, to make him not give up, to make him see that life is better than what he thought it was, right? Have you seen the movie Onward? The big brother? He's the higher self. Telling the kid, hey, you have magic. We're magic. We can do magic. There's always a higher self coming in these movies to push that main character forward, or one of the main characters forward, to show them you have everything you need inside of you to accomplish anything you want to accomplish, to manifest anything you want to manifest. Every single movie, every single book, every single story. And what's the first one that people hear about at some point in their life with that exact same cycle? Religious books, spiritual books. So, you want to learn how to manifest, be in alignment with your soul. Be in alignment with your soul. Trust that whatever your higher self is telling you, even if it seems crazy, do it. How are you going to know if it's not that? Because you have to practice discernment, right? Because you might be like, oh, well, my higher self told me to jump off a cliff. But I'm pretty sure that there's something in the Bible that says something along the lines of, trust God, but don't be dumb, right? Don't jump off a damn cliff. Stupid. Don't be stupid, right? Common sense, people. But if your higher self is telling you to do something that serves in love, growth, makes you edge out of your comfort zone just enough to get a new perception, a new perspective, a new idea, that's your higher self. That's God talking to you. If it serves to help other people, even if it helps you first, because I can't help anybody else unless I help myself. You cannot help anybody else unless you are good. Okay? And that's one of the things in my journals, I had to write in my journal at one point, I had to tell myself, it is not selfish to take care of myself. Because my whole life I had been conditioned, I had been shown that, oh, well, you have to take care of other people and put your own shit to the side. So I let people walk all over me. I let people yell at me. I let people hit me. I let people steal from me. All in the name of love. Because I felt like I had to let them do that for them to love me. Bullshit. No. We ain't doing that no more. No. And you shouldn't either. So you want to manifest. You get in alignment with your soul, with God, which is love. The less selfless we are, the better life becomes. That's just how it is. Okay? Don't worship a man. Worship what he said to do. Do as he did. No joke. We're not perfect. He wasn't perfect. The commandments are simple. Follow them. Don't be a dick is my first one. Don't be a dick. If you do something or you think about doing or saying something to somebody, right? And you don't take a minute to think, what if they did or said that to me? Then you're already fucking up. And I know it's hard because I lash out sometimes. Like I said, my pre-teen hormonal smelly ass son just drives me all the way up the walls. But every time I do lose my shit, I do apologize. I apologize. I ask him for forgiveness. I tell him, look, I'm sorry. This is what pissed me off. This is why I went off like this. Like, I'm still dealing with my own childhood trauma. This is one of the things that would be, like, this is something that my dad would have done to me, or it's something that I would have experienced as a child in this situation. And it kind of popped up and I just word vomited mean shit all over you, or, whatever it was. So I apologize. I recognize it and I apologize. Okay? And that's where that forgiveness comes in, because you have to forgive yourself and you have to ask for forgiveness. Now, people say, if I go to Jesus for forgiveness, I am forgiven. I can go to heaven, right? But if you did that and you really believed that to be true, you would never feel any kind of guilt. You wouldn't feel any remorse for anything that you ever did to anybody else. But I can guarantee you that you're still walking around with some sort of guilt. You're still walking around feeling attraction towards men that you shouldn't be feeling when you're married. You're probably walking around, thinking that you know everything and you don't have to take anybody else's advice because, well, what if they have achieved in life? I've achieved more than them. I shouldn't have to listen to them. Right? That's not Christ consciousness. That's doing the exact opposite of what he said to do. So if you go within and you acknowledge your bullshit and you forgive yourself, and you say, I'm sorry that I let myself hurt. I'm sorry that I hurt other people. I apologize to myself for being an asshole. I apologize to myself for not realizing that I was hurting myself anytime I was hurting somebody else. And when you realize that, that's when you have that forgiveness. That's that Christ forgiveness. That's what that is. That's when you figure out that you have to forgive yourself for everything you did to yourself and let other people do to you and what you've done to them. Okay? And that could sound crazy. I don't care. Why? Because anybody who tells me I'm wrong, I can guarantee you, has not done shadow work, has not seen what I've seen, has not felt what I feel. You cannot break somebody when they are getting the messages straight from source. You can't. And it could sound like I'm up in my ego, blah, blah, blah. Again, don't care, because why? My ego's sitting in the back right now, just chilling, Netflix and popcorn and chips and doing fat stuff in the back there. And my soul is like, this is me talking, trying to explain something to you guys because it got translated wrong. It got translated wrong. People are seeing it almost right, not quite right. Christ is within us energetically, physically, and externally. You can see it everywhere. The story of Christ is everywhere. Okay? We all have our own story of Christ. We all have our, crazy experiences where we thought we were, not going to survive on a soul level, We were completely broken down, and then something happened or someone came into our life and they kind of gave us that push for us to find ourselves. And then from then on just went up, And one of the things is you have to be authentic in who you are, because you are exactly who you are supposed to be, because your soul came here with a purpose. So you have these gifts. People are like, oh, I'm a psychic. Oh, I'm a medium. Oh, I can do telepathy. Well, guess what? Everybody can do that. We can all do that. Why? Because it's all energy. But if we're completely shut down and we're like, oh, well, that's not true, that's the devil's work, then we're not going to be able to serve God by doing what we were supposed to do in the first place, because we are not acknowledging it. We are blocking it out. So if you become authentic to your witchiness, if you acknowledge the dreams that you have and you find the messages in there, and you acknowledge that you're able to read people's energy, and you acknowledge that you're able to talk to animals, and I don't mean like Dr. Doolittle, I mean like you just have an understanding, you just know what they need. If you don't acknowledge that, you're pushing away what you are. You're pushing away what you're here to do, what your soul came here to do. And that's why your life is going to be, anywhere from mediocre to pretty fucking shitty. I would know, because my life was pretty fucking shitty. I wanted to kill myself, guys. I wanted to be dead. I was pregnant. The only reason I'm alive is because I did not have it in me to kill that child. And when I got pregnant with her, I was supposed to get my tubes tied, and I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? I could not bring myself to have an abortion. I had the possibility to do it. Somebody offered to pay for it because they knew that I was not in a position financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, because I have high-risk pregnancies. I was not in any kind of position to take that risk and have another child. But I couldn't do it. I could not kill a baby. And she saved my life. That's why I call her my light. She's saved my life. My third kid saved my life. Funny thing, I was told I couldn't have children, so there's that little bit. I'm recording, hold on. So, you want to manifest. Go within. Do the work. Get past yourself. Get past your bullshit. Past your pain. Past your trauma. Take full accountability for every single thing. As a child, we do not have the control. Okay, we don't have control as children. But when we grow up, we have control, in the sense that we can let something stay in us and just linger and grow into these ugly, nasty, pussy wounds, or, you know, let them heal. I reached maximum recording time. Anyways, yeah, so there's that. It's a long ass video. Have fun watching it or not. Like I said, I don't care. Whoever does watch it, you either already know this or you're going to very soon. It'll resonate. Alright, I love you. Do your shadow work. Heal. Go to therapy. Shadow work. Literally, therapy is shadow work. Okay? Make a list of all the things that trigger you. Find out why. Go within. Don't blame others. Because when you find out why it triggered you, you're also going to understand why they did it in the first place. By understanding yourself, you understand everybody else. By doing this, you learn to love yourself. You learn to love everybody else. Because you will see them as you see yourself. This is why I say I love you guys. Because I do. I don't know who you are, what you did. I don't care. I'm going to go all Backstreet Boys. What's a Backstreet? I don't care who you are, what you... Sorry. Oh, I'm going to listen to that here in a second, though. But yeah. Because I learned that if I don't accept myself and my gifts, alright? If I push them away, I'm pushing myself away, pushing my soul away, pushing God away, pushing you all away. I don't want to push you guys away. I want to love you guys. I want to love the shit out of every single one of you. I want to love the shit out of every single one of you. And if you don't love yourself, I will make you love yourself because you are beautiful. You are magical. You are fucking amazing and you don't even know it. That is all. For real this time. I gotta go do adulting things with the children's. I love you. Have a good day. Manifest greatness because you are greatness.